We'll be setting up the system. To get started, you want to log in as an admin user or a user with the appropriate permissions. Without the permissions, you would not be able to access the settings required. So let's log in. All right, so now we're logged in. Before the system can be used, certain things have to be put in place. For example, your insurers, your services, your billables, these all need to be put in place, and that's what we'll be doing. To get started, you come to settings, all right? And these are all the settings that are available on the system. These change the way the system behaves so that it suits your facility. We'll get started with app settings, right? Now, this information is what is displayed on your printouts. So, for example, when you print out a patient's profile or results, this brand information and contact information shows up there. Your links as well. Now, you have the idle timeout. So this is how long the system should remain inactive before it logs out. So how long should the system wait? Let's set it to 15 minutes. Now, the follow-up visit window is how long between visits should the system wait before treating that visit as a new one. So let's make it 60 days. And the consultation auto close is how long should the system leave a consultation open for before automatically closing it. Note that this does not apply to patients on admission. Right, so if a patient is admitted for that time, the consultation remains open. Let's bring this down to 7 days. Now you have the background image, your facility logo, and app icon. Now the background image shows up on your login screen, your facility logo goes on your receipts and your printouts as well. And we can save. Yes, so next we have the activity logs. So this keeps a log of actions that have been performed on the system. The API, you have information to connect to the system via the API. So the endpoints you should hit, and then an example authentication flow. For beds on the system, we already have some samples. So let's get started by adding a new ward. We select the ward type. Great. So now we can add a bed to that ward. Now you can name the bed, just it's up to you what your preference is. We select the ward we just created. The room type, is it private or shared? Now the status, is it occupied? Is it available? Is it reserved, or is it being cleaned? Say available. You specify the cost and your description or just any notes. All right, so the bed has been created. So next we're looking at billables. So these are things that the patients can be charged for. You can import it, to get the templates that you would use to import it, you just click on export. Right, you click on export, you edit the exported CSV file and you can import it. But to create a new billable, you can just click on add billable. You provide the name, the department that provides that billable, or the department that allows the patient to access that billable, and you provide the costs. Now, is the billable required for new visits? So if the visit is a new visit, should it automatically be added? And the description as well. Alright, so our billable has been added and it's required for new visits. So next we have our departments. Once again, you can import from a template. To get the template, you can just export. We click on add departments to add a new department. Our department type and a description. Now we move on to insurers. Again, you can import and you can get the template by exporting. So we add an insurer. You specify the default percentage and a description as needed. Now, note that the coverage here is the percentage covered by the insurer. Now, on a case-by-case basis for specific transactions, the insurance agent at your facility or whoever is responsible for validating insurance requests can adjust the percentage for that specific transaction. That is also gated behind a permission as well. Next up, we have payment types. You can specify the accounts and the payment types. So let's add a new account. We'll leave the balance at 0 and we'll specify a start and end period. So now we can add a payment type. And we select the account. Yes. So now our payment type is added. Next, you have the schedule. All right, so this is the schedule of your facility. And this is used if your facility enables online bookings. Yes, let's add Saturday as well. Now we move on to services, right? So what services are available in your facility? Once again, you can import and export, but we'll just go ahead and add a service. You select the department and what kind of service is it and the price and the description. All right. Now, when you're being trained on how to use the AMR, some sample data would be generated, and this is accessible from the setup page. You can generate more patient data. But once your system is being used, you would no longer be able to do this. Next, you have the user accounts. Once again, you can import users. So when you click on import users, you have access to download templates. You can download the roles. So it gives you a list of all the roles that are available in the system so that you can use that when filling out your templates. Once that's done, you can select the modified template file and then import it. So we'll look at a sample of that. Yes. So when you import it, if you import a file that has invalid data, it would tell you what the error is. So here it tells you that your username can only contain letters and numbers, but this has a full stop. Right, so you have to go back and edit the file. If the username already exists, it will tell you as well. And when you have valid data, you can go ahead and confirm import. We, however, will add a user directly. So the fields that are required are first name, last name, phone number, email, username, the account type and department, as well as the password. Now you can specify if the user should be required to change the password on login. You can also specify if the user should, or if the user's account should be disabled. You can do that from here. And you have your permissions as well. So let's just fill out. The account type. So each account type comes with default permissions, right? Let's put in a password. So we want the user to be required to change that password. So we have it checked. Now, once the user signs in, the account will be active. So we'll leave that active as well. Now, to apply the default permissions from the role, since we're creating a user, it's applied automatically. But when you're updating a user's account and you change the account type, right, you just click on apply rule default and it'll do that. So in this case, we're looking at a doctor, and you can add permissions as needed. You can add permissions as needed. And we can go ahead and create. So finally, you have user permissions. You can look at the permissions for each role. You can change which permissions are available by default. You go ahead and save. Now, what this does not do is it does not apply to users that already have that role. It applies to new users. And the reason for that is you do not want to inadvertently give a user more permissions than you intended to. So what you do after you have added new permissions is that you come back to the user, you come back to their profile, all right, and you can just click on apply role defaults and it would apply the updated permissions and you can save. So going through this, our system is now set up and ready to use. When a user that was created tries to log in, remember that in the past tutorial, we had the user required to change their password. Yes. So it lets the user log in, but before they can access the system, they are required to change their password. So they provide the current password. And the new password. So doing so, it ensures that only the user actually knows their password. Go ahead and now they can access the system.